Everybody, Tyler here from TS Services, and in today's video I'm just going to talk about a quick topic that is kind of overlooked sometimes when dealing with music production or engineering or even just singer songwriting or anything like that dealing with music. It's the concept of session organization. A lot of times as creators we just want to get the idea out, we just want to jot it down, make sure it's concrete, and then move on to the next idea, which is great. Not knocking that process at all, but sometimes you want to make sure that if someone else was to look at your session, or even was to collab and you guys are sharing the session, that it should be easy to identify what parts are what, have things correctly labeled, and even so much as having things in folders and routed correctly. Those are all important processes that may not seem as important when you're doing it, but it makes all the difference when you go back and you have to recall things and remember where things were. So, this is a session that I have, and it's super clean, super organized. You can clearly see where all the groups of things are. These are all folders, but they act as auxiliary buses. So under here, I have all my samples and effects. I have all my drums under here. I have all of my, I have background vocals. I have lead vocals. Everything is completely organized. And if I were to send this session to a mix engineer or a mastering engineer, they would have no guesswork involved in deciding where they wanted to work or what group is located where. They can hop right in and get to work. So that's a complete, overhaul of things being, done. But as you can see, this technique does work and it's efficient to getting around. Now, it doesn't have to be as convoluted as having multiple folders and subfolders and subfolders, but just having this type of mindset about the organization of your session can come in handy down the line. And I trust that, it'll make your session stand out. It'll make you stand out as a professional, when you can have this type of organization. So now, if you don't know how to achieve this, in this kind of look or this type of routing setup in your DAW, I did include 3 free templates, one for Pro Tools, one for Logic, and one for Ableton, that has this already set up for you. And in that, you'll see this all effects, folder right here. So I'm going to open this up and explain this a little bit. So under that, you have your verbs, delays, and width effects, right? So traditionally, you would have to do something like create an aux in any DAW. You have to create an aux, have to decide what reverb or what delay, what effect you want to use, the plug in on the insert, and then you have to, blend it in with the song and see if it works. And if it doesn't work, all right, now I got to swap out the plug in. And became a very convoluted process. So I chose to eliminate that extra step and just create folders for all of the effects you may want to use. So under the reverbs, I just labeled it verbs. You have your most common reverbs. You got a spring, you got a room, you got a hall, and you have a plate. And you can put the inserts, prematurely. Obviously, you can pick your go-to reverbs and have them already ready to go and just deactivate it. And then when you're ready to use them, you can just go and make a send, add it to the track that you want to add it to. Say I want a hall plate, or a hall reverb, and now I can, activate whatever verb I want to use, and then decide if it works with the song. If it doesn't, I can just deactivate and move on to the next thing. It just creates a more efficient, more fluid way of creating space or adding the effects in. And if I don't want to hear any effects at all and I want to hear my mix dry or my tracks dry, I can just immediately mute it, and that just takes everything out. And now I'm able to just do that with ease rather than having to go to every single aux or even the auxes and making sure that they're solo safe or anything like that. It takes the guesswork out of all of that. This is all done in the template for you. All you got to do is import them, pick the plugins that you want or that you frequently use on your sessions, and then you're ready to go. All right. So I hope this helps. I hope you get an idea for why it's important to have organized sessions, and I just hope that you just develop those habits moving on in your career that makes you look more professional and makes it easier for you to stay creative within your sessions and overall increases your productivity. All right.